Update. I told my mom how jealous I am of my half-siblings, and now she won't stop crying. Original post. I-16 male was born to my mom when she was 15, and I've never known my real dad. My mom didn't drop out of school or anything the year after I was born. She started dating Jack when they went to the university. I obviously got left behind with my grandparents. Mom and Jack got good degrees, got married, and moved to the city by Vancouver. My mom's always been in my life. She would still come home every weekend just to cuddle with me and would always give me these nicknames, but calling me her special guy would be her favorite one. She'd always bring me back presents and gifts and spend the whole time playing with me. She's the one who paid for my tutoring and after-school stuff and would try to make it to games and stuff like that. Jack wouldn't always come with her, but it was always fun when he would. He's taken me fishing with him a lot of times, and we even went camping for 2 weeks together once. But never again because I hate camping. But when I was 10, my mom and Jack had a daughter, and then another girl 3 years ago. I don't really know them, especially because my mom stopped coming over as much after they were born. We don't cuddle anymore. We did on my birthday, but that's it. No more cute nicknames for me except for special guy. It's like they all got transferred to my daughters. No more gifts, and the worst part is, she doesn't come to my games anymore. It was okay with me before because they still had a spare room in their house, and I could go there when it's time for the university. Yesterday, my mom FaceTimed, and we had a big announcement that she was going to have another baby, and it was a boy, and now she'd have 2 special guys. I guess she saw how sour my face was because she asked what's wrong. And I don't know, I just admitted how jealous I was that her daughters got her so much, and now her son was going to get her, and there wouldn't even be space for me when I had to go to the university. And I guess what I said affected her because she started crying and wouldn't stop and had to hang up. My grandparents are mad that I made her upset and think that I don't value them now or something. Jack phoned me and he's mad because my mom thinks it's a mistake now to have another kid, and also mad at me because he was like, why would I ever think that they wouldn't have room for me? I feel like I really messed up telling her that, and here I am at school writing about it on Reddit because I can't stop thinking about it. Now for the comments before reading the update. Why couldn't you move back once she graduated and started another family? She can't have her cake and eat it too. Unless the grandparents formally adopted him, then he's still their child. She passed the buck completely and her parents enabled her. Not helped, they enabled the abandonment. It baffles me how people can just leave their kids and start completely new families. I don't know why all of the adults in your life are blaming you, a child, for your very valid feelings about this. They should be trying to make you feel more comfortable and included, rather than try to smother your genuine feelings. Your mom feels bad because she should. She's in her 30s now. There's no reason why she can't be around you more. Your mom feels bad because she should. She's in her 30s now, and there's no reason why she can't be around you more. There is no reason OP shouldn't be living with his mother. If she's supporting her own family and having kids, the grandparents' time of raising OP should be over now. I question why OP's mom doesn't have him living with her. I know why you're feeling that, and I get a strong vibe regarding the grandparents and their influence being the larger factor in why OP doesn't live with his mom. Her reaction seems to indicate genuine guilt, and the grandparents' reaction is completely inappropriate. They're insulted, not hurting for OP. I feel like OP's mom may have tried to take him, but her parents said something along the lines of, why uproot him from the family that he's known for X amount of years to dissuade her? I believe there's a good chance OP's mom left him with her parents because she genuinely believed that that was in his best interest. And now she's heartbroken to find out that it isn't true. Of course, it's impossible to know why OP's mom didn't take him with the information presented, but I feel like there's a lot going on between his mom and grandparents that OP doesn't know about. He should have been living with her since the beginning of college. Plenty of parents, teen parents included, go to college but are still in their children's day-to-day lives. Most don't leave their children behind to go to school. They either find daycare or wait for the kids to be school age so they're at school. OP's mom got to play Disney dad and is upset her son is telling her that wasn't enough, and now feels even more pushed aside that now that mom and stepdad are having their actual children, that they care to be in their lives full time. More information. I remember going to the psychologist with her, but I don't really remember the sessions of even what that lady looked like. So I feel that she might have consulted me then, but it was so many years ago. Jack's not mad at me that my mom was crying or anything. He's just mad in general that she said that. He was mad at me because of what I said about them not having space for me when it's time for the university, because he was like, "You know we love you. You shouldn't even think that." I tried talking to my grandparents, but they just ended up ranting and giving a list of everything they've done for me and that I should be grateful. I don't know. I'm not a write a letter kind of guy. I wish I could see her so I could just talk about it with her. Now for the update. So I posted on Friday at school when I came home. My mom and Jack and their kids were already there talking to my grandparents. As soon as my mom saw me, she gave me such a big hug that she actually lifted me up for a second, which is weird because I'm taller than her now, and then wouldn't stop kissing me on the face and telling me she loves me. I said hi to everyone, and my grandparents had my mom to take me into my room to talk to me alone. In my room, she told me she was sorry that I felt like she'd been paying me less attention and that a new baby isn't going to replace me, and I'd always be her special guy. I started crying, so we weren't able to talk until I calmed down, and then Jack came in and joined us. I just admitted that I felt like I wasn't that important to my mom anymore, and if they were having a boy, then there would be no point in them taking me in when it's time for the university. And then Jack left because he kind of started crying hearing me say that, and that was weird. My mom told me that she wanted to take me when I was 13 and going into high school because she thought that that was the best time to do it. Except she argued with my grandparents about it a lot, and they said it was best if I stayed with them. Then, when my mom took me to a game, she saw how much fun I was having with my friends and thought they were right. When I said I wanted to go to SFU, she and Jack were happy because it meant I would be with them when I graduated. When I asked about the spare room that was meant to be mine, she admitted that they hadn't thought about what would be the baby's room and would have to figure something out since they aren't giving up my room. My mom told me that she'd come and take me every weekend because she said it was wrong that she started paying less attention to me, but thought it was okay because I was independent and had my grandparents. She said that she wanted me to spend my breaks with them as well. I don't want to leave my high school, but my mom said that I could do that for my grad year if I wanted to move in with them earlier. I did have a talk with Jack too, and he told me that he was glad I confessed everything and that his parents got mad at him for him not telling me that when he called me. We did have a fun weekend together except my grandparents because they don't leave the house, and the reason is because of COVID, and I don't want weekends to keep being like that. I don't know if I'm allowed to keep doing updates here, so this might be the only one, but hopefully this will calm everyone down who's been messaging me this account for one. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for refusing to be my friend's alibi so he can cheat on his girlfriend? Plus update. Original post. I, 21 male, have known my friend Matt, 21 male, since we started college. We're in the same program and have been roommates since day one. Overall, I'd say Matt is a great guy, however, he has a terrible tendency to cheat. Throughout college, I think Matt had 5 to 7 different girlfriends, and each of those relationships ended because he would cheat. Back in January, he started dating his current girlfriend, Jen, 21 female, and has been with her for far longer than any of the previous relationships. From my interactions with Jen, I know she's a wonderful person. She's very polite, beautiful, and clearly devoted to Matt. For the past few weeks, Matt has also developed a close relationship with his anatomy lab partner, Cindy, 21 female. It's become pretty clear to me and my other roommates, Kyle, 21 male, Robert, 22 male, and Omar, 20 male, that there is some romantic relationship going on between them. We've even all met Cindy as she came by our house a few times. Long story short, Matt has told me and the other guys that things between him and Cindy are moving fairly quickly and that Jen is completely in the dark about this. He told us that for the foreseeable future, he'll be spending a few nights hanging out with Cindy. Here's the issue. Jen and her roommates don't live that far from us, about a 7-minute walk. So there's a good chance she'll come by looking for him, according to Matt. Therefore, he wants us all to make excuses for his absence and potentially reassuring Jen that he isn't up to anything bad. Kyle and Robert are fully on board with this, as they consider it the bro code. Omar is fully against this, and while he has not said that he'd tell Jen, he has refused to lie for Matt and has been urging him to end things with Cindy. I would say that I'm more neutral. I don't think what Matt is doing is appropriate, but I don't think it's my place to tell Matt how to manage his relationships. I told him that while I wouldn't seek Jen out and tell her what's going on, I wouldn't lie to her either about where he is and instead say, I don't know. We all argued about this for a while, and the general gist of things is that Kyle, Robert, and Matt all think that I'm being a bit of an ass for not being more cooperative. Aside from this, I don't think there is really much I can do. Moving to somewhere else is both economically and logistically unfeasible, so I think trying to avoid stirring the pot is my best bet. Am I the a-hole? Now for the updates. Update 1. I'll start this update by saying Jen found out last night. Like Matt predicted, she came over to our house Tuesday evening. I saw her pretty quickly since I was also coming back from buying some food. She asked me if I knew where Matt was, and I said I didn't know because I genuinely didn't know at the time. She mentioned how he wasn't responding to her texts and that she was worried about him, and I felt pretty bad hearing that. Kyle, who was inside, came out at this point and said that Matt was in his anatomy lab and then reassured her that he'd contact her once he was finished. She didn't seem entirely satisfied with that answer, but thanked us anyway and left. Once she was gone, Kyle told me that Matt was actually on a date with Cindy. Since Matt sometimes brings Cindy over, he'll text the house group chat before they come over to ensure that Jen isn't around. He did this on Tuesday night, and Kyle did alert him that Jen had stopped by looking for him, so he stayed over with Cindy on Tuesday night. Wednesday evening, only Omar and I were home. Kyle was with his own girlfriend, and Robert had an exam. Around 7 p.m., we get a text on the group chat from Matt saying he plans on bringing Cindy over around 8:30 and asked if Jen came by. I told him that I hadn't seen her and things went on as usual. I added that Omar had refused to respond to these specific text messages from Matt, so there was an expectation on me to clarify if Jen was here or not. A little after 8 p.m., Jen comes by with one of her friends, Carly, 21 female. They asked us where Matt was since Jen hadn't been seeing him a lot lately. Before I could even say anything, Omar told them to come back around 8:30 and Matt should be home. They left, and I did argue with Omar about his decision to tell them to come back since it was inevitably going to cause drama, but he didn't care. I did text Matt and told him about Jen potentially returning, but since he was driving, he didn't read the message. At this stage, I gave up trying to contact Matt and went up to my room. A little after 8:30, Matt walked in with Cindy. And not that long afterward, Jen and Carly returned. Omar let them in. Long story short, there was a lot of Jen yelling and Matt lying and apologizing. I didn't bother coming down since I could hear it all from my room. After about 10 minutes of this, Jen and Carly left. Matt sent Cindy home after this and was pretty pissed at what happened. I reminded him that I sent text messages, which he now saw, and Omar played dumb, acting like he didn't see Matt's message about him asking if Jen was home, but confirmed to him that he told Jen to come back after the first time she came back because he didn't think Matt was dumb enough to go out with Cindy 2 nights back to back. Robert and Kyle came home after this point, and I filled them in on what happened. There was definitely some tension in the house this morning, as Matt thinks this all could have been avoided had Omar been more helpful. He also partially blames Cindy for wanting to come over so often. Overall, Matt doesn't really seem to care that Jen found out and broke things off with him. He said that he'll try to apologize one more time, as he does prefer Jen to Cindy, and if she doesn't accept, he'll leave things as they are. As for Cindy, Matt has already told Kyle, Robert, and me this morning that he plans on ending things with her after the December exam season. He says that he wants to be single again by New Year's so that he can have a fresh start. Kyle and Robert think this is pretty hilarious considering how much trouble you got into to be with her. Things have ended more smoothly than I thought, and I have made it abundantly clear to Matt to keep me out of his relationship woes. I've also asked Carly how Jen was holding up this morning as we share a class together. As expected, Jen was very upset about the entire ordeal, and she and her friends consider everyone at our house aside from Omar to be complicit and awful. Quick update. Kyle texted the group chat that his girlfriend knows and she isn't very happy. Update 2. I've been receiving a lot of DMs from people wondering how things turned out after the big reveal, so here's a quick recap. Jen did not accept Matt's apology. She has indicated that she, in fact, never wants to see him again. Matt is still with Cindy and he still plans on breaking up with her after exam season. According to him, Cindy is starting to feel pretty secure now that Matt is no longer with Jen and has expressed her desire to form a serious relationship with him. While he does feel a bit guilty, he thinks it's best for both of them that he ends things with her before New Year's. Despite feeling guilty, Matt has attempted to reactivate his Tinder account, but Kyle made him take it down. Kyle thinks it's too soon for Matt to do this since someone we know is bound to see him there, and according to Kyle, Matt needs to play up the angle that he's heartbroken about the falling out with Jen. Kyle has smoothed things over with his girlfriend by claiming he had no idea Matt was cheating. Robert backed him up on this and expressed that nobody aside from Matt knew. While I did plan on telling Carly the truth about what was going on, considering how quickly Matt, Kyle, and Robert had been moving, I opted against this. Instead, I've told Carly that I also did not know about Matt's cheating. Yes, it's a lie, but since I was against Matt's cheating, I don't think it's fair for me to go down with the ship considering that both Kyle and Robert are getting off relatively scot-free. Apparently, I was convincing enough, as Carly told me that while she herself doesn't think I'm so bad, Jen will need time to process what went down, so it's best to give her space. Omar has expressed his strong disappointment in all of us, but at this stage his voice has become an ambient noise according to Kyle. Since I'm fortunately visiting my parents this weekend, I get to be away from all the drama and hopefully any potential fallout. Also, since it's relatively earlier, we'll have to wait and see if anything else happens, but I hope and pray the worst is over. Update 3. For those wondering why I haven't posted another update, I was busy with exams. However, things have largely calmed down. Omar is doing all right. We're not ostracizing him or anything. All he has is bad exam anxiety. Despite consistently getting good marks, we went out to celebrate his birthday a few nights ago, and this did help us all de-stress. According to Carly, Jen is still very upset about what happened with Matt. However, fortunately, she's less depressed about it now and feels anger towards Matt more than anything else, according to Carly. As for Matt himself, he still claims to be on course to dump Cindy sometime in the near future, as he has remained adamant about being single by the new year. Matt and Kyle claim that it is fair considering the role that Cindy played in all of this, but I'm not so sure. Either way, I'll be staying out of whatever Matt has planned. Kyle has pretty successfully smoothed things over with his own girlfriend. For a bit, it did look like she wanted to take a break from him since she did hear about him telling Jen that Matt was in his lab instead of with Cindy. She was suspicious, but he did reiterate to her that he had no idea that Matt was cheating. Robert helped him out with this, and they have successfully put the entire thing on Matt. Matt is okay with this, as he does now admit some responsibility, but he only made this admission after Omar essentially had to spell it out for him. Aside from this, not much is happening since everybody is mainly focused on their exams. Update 4. So there have been a few developments since my last post. Before you ask, no, I haven't told Kyle's girlfriend anything for obvious reasons. Firstly, I don't want to ruin any housing situation. Second, it'd be my word against Kyle, Matt's, and Robert's, so she probably wouldn't believe what I have to say. Also, I've started seeing a new girl myself and things are going smoothly. Snitching on Kyle would probably ruin that as well. I asked Omar privately if he was going to blow the whistle on Kyle, but he didn't give me any particular straightforward answer. He's hard to read, so I don't know what he'll do. Kyle has begged him not to say anything, so we'll see how that holds. I'm guessing Omar has probably already told the girl that he likes about the entire situation. They act like a married couple despite not really dating, so if he knows, she probably knows as well, which does put Kyle at some risk of being found out. But this is only speculation and not my problem. Matt's plan to dump Cindy and be single by the new year has completely fallen apart. As you may recall, Cindy is Matt's lab partner in the anatomy class that they're taking as a full-year course. As Omar so smugly pointed out, Matt wants the anatomy professor to write him a reference letter eventually, since he has done prior research with this professor and is doing well in his class. And if he were to have a conflict with his lab partner, that might spoil the letter. Omar has been throwing this constantly in Matt's face by saying things like how Matt needs to pretend to love Cindy even though he isn't capable of love, and how he can't be a hoe anymore because it all affects his academics. He says all this jokingly, but it's hilarious considering how worked up Matt gets. Jim and Carly are doing all right. I saw them before leaving campus the other day, and we spoke briefly. I've heard that Jen is starting to reconnect with her ex, the guy before Matt. Before you ask, she didn't cheat on this guy with Matt. She got with Matt a few months afterwards, and she and the guy ended things. Hopefully she finds happiness there. Since our winter break has started, we'll all be headed our separate ways for most of the break. I do plan on hanging out with the guys a few times, though for now, as much as I love tea, I need a break from all their drama. Last update. Unsurprisingly, Matt, 22 male, has cheated again on his newest girlfriend, Cindy, 21 female. I use the term girlfriend loosely because realistically, Matt only stayed with Cindy because he needed a recommendation letter from a certain professor and didn't want issues in the class he shared with her. Cindy was essentially a placeholder, and since Matt no longer needs that letter, lucky him, he's more or less done with her. He went on a tirade about how annoying and clingy she is, and again mentioned how he still prefers his previous girlfriend Jen, 21 female, to her. Matt revealed this information during a completely unrelated conversation to me, male 21, and one of my other roommates, Omar, 21 male, last night. The two of us had no idea this was going on, as Matt had been more secretive about whom he tells his relationship information since the last time he cheated. Our other roommate, Kyle, 21 male, told us that he has known about Matt cheating on Cindy for 2 weeks now. He and Matt are besties. I'm not sure if our other roommate, Robert, who wasn't here last night when we were having this chat, knows anything about Matt cheating again. I didn't bother asking Matt or Kyle if he knew. Of course, Cindy has no clue that Matt's been unfaithful, nor does Kyle's own girlfriend, Olivia, 21 female, know that Kyle's been essentially helping Matt cheat on Cindy. I kinda knew Olivia wouldn't know for obvious reasons, but I didn't want Kyle to confirm this with me. The only reason I got this confirmation was because Omar stupidly asked Kyle, "Does Olivia know?" Realistically, he damn well knew that Olivia wouldn't know. She didn't know last time Kyle covered for Matt, but I guess he wanted to burden us with this information for whatever reason. Omar then asked Matt if he was going to break up with Cindy, and Matt only responded by saying eventually yes. I asked Matt what he meant by this, and he clarified that he wanted to be done with Cindy by reading week about 2 weeks away. For those wondering, I'm still here for 3 more months until my lease is up. Now for today, if you're enjoying this story, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you.